Today is going to be a fun day. It's Memorial Day weekend, and I have a lot of crap to do. Normally, I have 3 days to do it, sort of. I mean, considering Sundays are podcast days. However, it's supposed to rain again on Monday because it hasn't stopped raining. So that means I have a lot of crap to get done today. The first thing to do, though, is I have to unload our van because we went up and got some more feed for the chickens. So it's been a little bit hard to find feed to some degree, so I was able to find 6 bags of this chick starter and went ahead and bought it. So I've got to back this van up to over here, and or at least to the end of the driveway, so that I can start unloading it. All right, so the next thing, I've got to actually load up the things in here. However, what I'm going to do a little differently is I'm trying to optimize space. And one of the things that I'm going to try doing is putting all of that feed inside of a 55-gallon drum. And normally, I just kind of put it in there as a kind of side-by-side bags. But this time, I'm going to put these trash bags inside of the drum and then actually pour the feed in so that it takes up space better. Like, I mean, it just optimizes the use of the space instead of trying to actually get it down to the just putting in bags. I didn't actually think about doing that until I saw it on a YouTube channel, and I'm like, well, I like that, except they're trying to keep the inside of it clean all the time, and we were like, why don't we just use some trash bags, and then we kind of don't got to worry about it at all. So one of the things I have to do is I'm using a single cart dolly thing currently from Harbor Freight, just cheap ones, to actually put this all on. Something I want to talk about for a minute is optimizing your movements when you can. So as an example, if you take a look at the feed, it's in here. I actually have this bag and this bag different. And that's because in one, I made a mistake in loading, in the other, I did not. In this one, I have the part that opens, pointing to the back, so that I can pick it up and throw it over my shoulder and carry it to the chicken shack. The other one, I have to finagle. And so what I like to do is I like to lay them out so I can just throw them all on my shoulder and then carry it where I need to go. And then that way when I set it down, I'll actually end up setting it down in the right direction to be able to open the top. And I always think whenever I load feed, where is that top part going to be open, so that later when I'm tired in the morning and just like, I can easily open it up. In this case, I'm putting them in the barrels, and so it's not going to be as big of a deal. However, I don't want to have to get out there and then flip it upside down, right side up, and have to open it again. It just makes movement easier and better if I'll take that extra 5 seconds when loading it and load it the proper way and think through the entire process. So if you have anything that you're loading like this, go ahead and think through when you're getting it, how you're loading it up. That way when you unload it and deal with it, it's going to be a lot easier and save you time. Anyway, just a thought. All right, you might have seen me just get a little bit frustrated, and that's because I had a little bit of a building problem here. So I have the two dollies down there that this is on, and I need to shove this. This is the problem when sometimes you build stuff a little bit too tight a tolerance. And that is, this was designed for one dolly to help slide this underneath. But now that I have two dollies on there, it raises it a little bit. And so now this shelf is a little bit too high. I'm kind of having to force it in there, and it just kind of doesn't want to go in there very well. So I have now got to figure out a way to fix that so it slides in and out easier. So I'll worry about that later, but for now, that food's put up, and I only have I think 2 more bags to deal with, and I'll show you what I'm going to do with one of them here in a minute. So I have 2 more bags of feed to deal with. One I'm actually going to put in a 55-gallon drum. I'm not going to pour it in there yet because I've still got to go get the dollies. However, the other one is going in that big box way back there. So let's go get that and see what's in it. So that long box is actually more the fiberglass poles to put on the poultry netting. Every time I make an order, I go ahead and buy 2 or 3 just in case, because they're like $5 a piece, and it's, you know, I don't want to buy a bunch and pay for shipping for them whenever I'm buying something else. And usually I get free shipping, so it's just kind of an add-on I do, just to make sure I have enough for dealing with sag. At some point I'm sure I'll have enough, but I haven't quite reached that yet, so I'm just buying a few here and there, and I mean, they're useful for other things than the poultry netting, so I like to buy them. So the next is, what's in this big box? Well, the big box is, I think it's a king feeder from Premier One. It's a deep reservoir, so it can hold a 50-pound bag of feed. I also got the thing to put on top of it to prevent from rain, plus I got the ring that goes inside of it that allows for I think it's like 14 chickens to eat simultaneously, but also prevents them from scratching. Thing is, I need to go ahead and put it together and get it all situated and get that out to the chickens, and then pour an entire bag of feed. The importance of doing it with the feed, with this feeder, particularly one, is to save time. I don't have to, you know, I can go out there, put the feed in there, and then in a few days I can check and see if I have enough feed left. I'll probably check it every day for a while. And then I can start to measure the amount of food that they have, that they've consumed, so that I can turn around and then project how much feed that I need to get. If I can, you know, handle getting it in bulk, then I want to try that, and I know how much to get and how long it's going to last, to see if it's even worth the effort of doing. So it's just kind of a measurement thing, and save time on feeding. So the only thing I have to do is check water, check feed, open the chickshaw, let them out in the morning, and I'm done. And then hopefully once a week, for now at least, fill the thing, and then I'm good to go. So that just means I need to keep one bag in reserve that I never dump into the thing every so often, or several bags that I never dump into a drum. I just thought about that, so I can always pour in this king feeder. And with that, we are done with the feed for a while. I just got to feed the chickens, the meat chickens, in the afternoon, and that's it. I mean, it's the great thing about, you know, a lot of this homestead stuff, at least on this scale, is you do stuff for a little bit and then you're done. You do hard work for 20-30 minutes to an hour every once in a while, and then the rest of the time is like 5-10 minutes per type of animal. So pretty good. I'm gonna go in now and get something to drink, wash my hands. So getting back into the shop here, I have this engine I'm working on, obviously. And one thing that I find interesting is when you start new projects you haven't done before, you're not used to working on, you tend to find the tools that you don't have. You find your deficiency, and so it's time to shore up those deficiencies. One of my deficiencies has been sockets and ratchets, and then just lack of organization in my toolbox. So I bought some stuff to go organize with, and this actually goes along with the optimization of workflow and just to save time, because I know while working on the engine there, I mean, I probably spent 30 minutes easy, maybe even an hour over the course of a couple of days, just looking for tools in the toolbox. And so it's just a lot better to already have kind of that organization in place. So that's why I bought some organizers. Also, I happened to go to Lowe's today to get some stuff and ran across this. And since I have a deficiency in all the sockets that I need, and the teeth on a couple of the ratchets have broken, and I need to replace the ratchets, I was just poking around, wasn't really, looking serious. Saw that 105 piece Craftsman set for, I think it was $89, normally $139, and it was on clearance. So I'm like, well, I'm just gonna go ahead and buy this, and should shore up a bunch of stuff for me and get me on the way. The other thing I like about it is I looked up, and Craftsman does still have a full lifetime warranty, and all I got to do is ship it back to Craftsman. So I'm super excited about that. That's one of the reasons I went ahead and pulled the trigger. So, but back on the organization, let's actually get some organization going so that I can actually get some work done, and I'm not spending all of my time looking for tools. All right, it's already a lot more organized. I got this little spacer here on the back side here is metric. On the front side here is standard. And yeah, and I got these laid out well. It's gonna be a lot easier. I have a lot of doubles in here, so it's gonna be a lot easier to find what I need. Yeah, I'm excited. It's good to get this organized. I have more of these organizers coming, so I can eliminate a lot of this crap. And I'll see what I have after that and do some further organization. But yeah, I am basically optimizing my my workflow by doing this. And before, this was completely full, and I'd have to stir around trying to find the wrench that I need. I do have another one of these that I'm going to deal with there and get that organized. But yeah, making progress. That's what it's all about. Hopefully, again, get some more of these, and I can eliminate a lot of stuff in there. And then it'll just be a lot easier to find stuff, which will be really, really exciting. So I think that's really it. You ought to take a look in your office, your shop, whatever you're doing, and see if you can't find some stuff to optimize to save you time. I know this is going to save me some time.